but you're cut from a different cloth. You engaged the evil, right? You ran towards the violence.
And then I just couldn't get this idea out of my head, like, I need to walk. I chose to push myself. I chose to walk. I chose to not really give a shit about what happened. Just prepare in case there's ever a next time. Prepare the family. You know, I was responsible for what was going to happen after the fact. Was I going to be depressed, sitting at home and victimized and all that? Or was I going to push forward?
I have 2 people in my phone with hero next to their name. It's you and I want to. Of course, I'm going to space his name. Charles Wilford.
Mm-hmm. No, it's Steven.
Stephen Wilford. Yeah, in my phone is hero as well. You know, look him up if you need to. But met him at a GOA event. Fantastic man. Mm-hmm. I text with him. We're talking to him about trying to get him on the podcast as well. But you know. These are the stories that I want to cover. These are the stories, these are the interviews that I want to have on because you're right. Everybody ran. You're right. That could, right? Everybody ran. You laid there bleeding and you had a decision to make. There was a third option, lay down and die. You didn't even list that one because that's not in you. That
wasn't an option.
Right.
That wasn't an option. I couldn't die.
Right.
I had to meet my unborn child. So
exactly. You can run, which people chose to do, and you know what? Okay. But you're cut from a different cloth. You engaged the evil, right? You ran towards the violence. We talked about this with Chris Haynes. Mm-hmm. You ran towards the violence. So all of this happens. You're going through physical recovery, I'm sure, right? What is your mindset with this?
Just recover. That's it. You know, the story ran through my mind and everything. You know, I woke up, of course, panicking, scared. You know, my wife was there to comfort me. We talked. And at that point, it's just like, shit, I need to recover. Just, physically.
Right.
Emotionally, like, fuck that. I could deal with that shit later. But I can't, I got a family to provide for,
Right.
So I need to recover. They didn't know from, beforehand. They had told my wife, like, we don't know how he's going to heal, recover. He may never walk. He may never this. Like, we just don't know. It's too soon to tell.
Yeah.
And I woke up, chatted for a little bit, with my family, my wife, my brother was there. And I just remember, like, fuck, I gotta take a piss. That starts running. I know, like, that starts running through my head. Like, the first thing, I was like, all right, now I want to get up to go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Like, no, just lay there. And here's this, like the
little pitcher thing?
Little pitcher and,
yeah.
Fucking piss jug or whatever the hell it is,
right, Right.
So I'm like, no, I'm going to stand up at least. Like, I need to stand up.
Right.
So my brother helps me, I stand up and I'm standing right next to the bed and I piss and I was like, oh, damn. Like, that was the greatest shit ever. So whatever, I finish, I lay back down. And then we start talking some more, my brother and all that. And then I just couldn't get this idea out of my head, like, I need to walk.
Yeah.
Like, I need to. Like, now. And so I kept thinking that over in my head. And then I tell my brother, like, hey, I need to fucking walk. I need to get out of this fucking bed.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I don't, like, no, dude. Like, I need to get off of this fucking bed and walk. So they tell the nurse. No, and I'm like, either with your blessing, I'm going to walk, and you guys are going to help me, or you guys better fucking tie me down, because I'm going to fucking walk.
Right.
And they're like, holy shit, all right. So nurses come, they help me up, and I start walking. I'm walking at a, decent slow pace, and they're like, okay, keep it slow. I'm walking through, so I get out of my room. I just start walking. I walked around the whole, I think I was on the second floor, third floor, whatever. Don't remember. But as I'm walking, like, I start walking faster and faster and faster. They're like, slow down. I'm like, nope, and faster. Almost to the point, like, where I'm like, speed walking, or like I'm already about to the point to start jogging.
Right.
And I do the whole, second floor, and we're back in my room. I'm like, I want to do it again. And the nurse is like, no, we let you get your walk, and you wanted to run, and just in a little while.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I got that out of my system. I can walk.
Mm-hmm.
Peace of mind. So go back and lay down. And then that's where the nurses, they officially, one of the nurses comes and she's like, hey, we were all talking and you're officially fucking Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I just started laughing. I'm like, okay. And the reason, and after that, like, that mentality just kicked in, like, I'm going to be okay. Yeah. That was my peace of mind, that I was able to walk, my motor skills, everything was still there. I could still see from one eye. I could still hear my family. I can walk. And after that, it was just, let's go. Every chance I can get. I'm laying in my bed. There's, eventually, okay, you need a rest. My family left. We're going to go eat, and now that we'll be back. And, any chance I get, like, I was fucking laying there, I would get up, literally by myself on the bed.
Yeah.
And, like, walk and peek out the window or the door and, come back in and, just that. I was there from waking up from surgery. I think I was there just like one more day. Like, holy shit, Iron Man, at this pace, fucking trying to run, like, you're going home soon. They took me home. My sister picked me up. Wife is there, everybody's there, but, I went in my sister's car. Go home. Had a, guest bedroom downstairs. And, they took me there, laid there. And they're like, don't go upstairs. That's where my bedroom is. And, nothing like that. But I went to bed, and I think it was like 4 or 5 a.m. Of course, I woke up. Couldn't really sleep. I'd wake up every, hour on the hour type of deal. But it was like 4 or 5 a.m. Everybody's asleep. And I fucking walked upstairs by myself just to go talk to my wife in the bedroom. That next day, got home late, went to bed. Next day I walked upstairs and just to greet my wife and, the girls. Yeah. Like, holy shit, what are you doing up here?
At any point in this, are you in your mind about that you're the victim of a gunshot? Like, it doesn't seem like you have any victim in you, brother.
There was too much shit going on in my life.
Right.
And that's what I'm getting at, and that was the whole point of, telling you about, me, the running, the this, the, my mentality, why I had to walk and all that, because being victimized in this whole mentality, that's all a mindset.
Yeah.
No, hey, this world is evil, a lot of evil shit. I got to prepare myself. I'm firsthand witness of what can happen. So what am I going to do to prepare for this shit to never happen again?
Right.
Now I still have responsibilities. That hasn't changed. I'm thankful I'm alive, and just move on.
Right.
Push forward. And that was the whole thing. It's all a mindset. I could have said I would never walk, and guess what? Maybe I would have never walked. Yeah. I could have said, that this is the worst thing, and, I'd be in depression right now, fucking locked up in a dark room.
Right.
But no, I didn't choose that. I didn't choose to be a victim.
Right.
I chose to push myself. I chose to walk. I chose to not really give a shit about what happened. Just prepare in case there's ever a next time. Prepare the family in case we're ever put in a situation like this.
A lot of men, especially, miss that nowadays, right? We think, and we've discussed this on the show before, like you get a lot of rewards out of being the victim, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're no longer held responsible. You get to be right, and you get people that'll give you attention, right? So that, oh my God, this happened to you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't respect you for getting shot. I respect you because of what you did afterwards, right? Nobody remembers a hero based upon what took them out. They remember the hero because of what they survived. So you went through something, and where most people are going to run, you chose to think about your family, and you chose to think about the threat that needed to be eliminated. That's what makes you a hero. So I get that a lot of people don't have it in them to be that way. And what words would you give to somebody that's currently in a victimhood mindset?
You know what? Damn, I've never thought about that. I've never thought of what advice, because I mean, it's probably harsh or whatever, and this is an advice or what I'm just telling myself. And I mean, maybe it's not the right words for somebody,
Right.
but this is what I tell myself and told myself since day one. Don't be a bitch. Stop being a fucking pussy. No. Stand up and push forward. And that's what I told myself. So maybe it's harsh and rude for me to give that advice to somebody that's, feels depressed and victimized, but if that's what I told myself and that's what pushed me,
Right.
then maybe those are the words that these people need to hear.
Right.
Like, hear my story, and here I am.
Yeah.
What happened to you to get to that position? Is it a worse story or situation than mine? Maybe. Maybe not.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like we're all responsible for our own actions and our own outcome.
Yeah.
I was responsible for what was going to happen after the fact. Was I going to be depressed, sitting at home and victimized and all that? Or was I going to push forward and keep, start working again, start doing my thing, start providing for my family again, and just push forward? Mm-hmm. And I chose that. I chose to not be a fucking bitch.
Right. And so I would say to that, if somebody needs it in a more palatable tone, then okay, here it goes, just get up. It's time to do the things. You don't get to give up. We're not quitting today. We have to get to work.
You say it too nice.
Absolutely. A big part of me wants to be quit being a bitch and let's go. It's time to man up. It's time to do the damn thing. There is too much on the line. Quit being soft. It's time to be a man. But yet in the same right, you have to appeal to your audience, right? And I'm not saying that the people that listen to the show are going to be soft people.
Right.
More than likely they're not, because more than likely a soft person, a victim, is not going to want to watch a podcast about personal development or about masculinity, or
they will because they want some inspiration.
Sure. And so take it from Raul or take it from me. End of the day, get up. Time to move. There's no time to slow down right now. And if this man can be shot in the head and nope, I'm not laying in bed. I'm going to go run the ward. That's wild to me. So if he can do it, you can do it. And I understand the concepts of mental illness. Don't get me wrong. And yet still, just push through.